Okay, you're live. No, it was just a moment. I'm still adjusting the light here. That's a little better. It just told you we're live. Well, then we must be. You are a little in the dark. Are you okay? This is our first live. Sorry about all that. We're just waiting
all
for
those
people to show up
that
now.
go on Patreon. You actually get to see them now.
Why are you
It's
so
fine.
in the dark? I'm gonna fix this, people. Hold on. First off, let's turn that off. You think with a room all full of windows, it would be easier to get lighting in here?
Would you look at that? I look like I got some color to me.
I am ruining everything.
Over.
Can't believe we're live for this. This is ridiculous. Sorry, everyone. Apologize for my unprofessionalism. I feel terrible. Is that better? Feel better?
Yes.
Okay, you feel more lit?
Yes.
My kids are also home. Apologies.
I mean, this is why we also have personal channels. Like, this is our live.
It's true.
That's all right, though. All right, now I'm getting on the other one. How do you go live on this one?
Oh, she's crying because I'm busy.
Oh, I feel bad now.
How do I go live on here?
You just went live.
I did? But I went from Facebook.
Oh, did we go from Facebook? Can you go live on this platform?
I believe I can. Totally, you can go live on here. Right?
Terms of live. Did you not see that? Oh wait, that's terms.
What do you even? I'm sorry, everyone. We apologize completely. If you have any questions, please start asking them. I'm so sorry.
Fine. Oh, somebody is.
All right, hello to whoever's watching. Oh God, shush! Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so embarrassed right now.
I'm not. This is fantastic. This is why we have Patreon bloopers.
How do you go live on here? I'm so old.
You just want to go on the other platform?
Hold on, how do I do it?
We might just have to go on the other platform.
Discard. Okay, hold on. I can do this. How do I do it? Hold on. Give me just a second here.
Click out of it.
No, we're still live.
Oh, you're gonna Google it. Oh,
I'm not Googling it. I'm going to TikTok on here to see if I can go live.
I might just go live from Home Life with 2.0 page.
No, that was the wrong move. Wrong move. Mm-mm. Log in with Google.
Yay!
Okay, now can I go live?
It just says upload video.
Hold on, maybe it has like a live portion. We're old people. We can't figure it out. We'll
I'm just gonna go off this one, the Home Life with 2.0. Look, I'm just gonna go live off that. For me.
Okay, then do you want to go live off the Gals and Ghosts page? We're already on here.
They say you can go live from the Gals and Ghosts on social media.
Okay, sorry about this, everyone. We apologize.
Well, I mean, I don't even need my camera. No, go. That's fine. I'll go live.
So sorry, everyone. We are not prepared. Okay. Post. Live video.
I'm now live on that platform.
Here we go. Start live video. again, sorry, we couldn't figure out the TikTok live thing. Still, please go follow us if you can, but unfortunately, I'm too old to get it figured out. I don't know what's happening. So we're going to be on live on here. We specifically want to respond to questions about our investigations. If you have anything that you would like to ask about our personal lives or anything like that, but please be respectful and just understanding, you know.
This is our first one. We do plan to do more of these, but for right now, this is our very first official Q&A session.
Right. Now, we have been keeping track of some of the questions that people have been asking us so far, and so we have written out bulletin points, but
for the most part, we're just going to answer them as they come to us. If we think of something, we're going to be honest.
And if y'all ask any questions in this live stream, we'll make sure to, if we miss them, we'll make sure to get them next time, things like that. We'll be doing this once a month.
Yeah. All right. So
what do you want to like start with?
Well, we get asked a lot. Well, let's go personal. We get asked a lot if we're sisters.
We do, but we get asked a lot if we're even really friends, you know? And we're not sisters, by the way. We're not siblings. We're not even related.
At all.
But we are pretty good friends. We've been, what is it?
14 years?
Yeah.
13, 14 years? You were there through the whole Cody stage, and that was 14 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I
married him, but like you were there in the beginning of that. So
I mean, you were around for like my first engagement, so
yeah.
Took me a long time to get married. No.
But yes, to answer that question, we have been friends. This isn't just, we don't do this because somebody's making us. We do this for fun, and we really are friends. We've been friends for a very long time. We're even going to do a little section right now where we're going to ask each other questions that we kind of already know the answer to, but this is more for y'all's benefit. For example, what's your favorite TV show? I know the answer.
Obviously, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Anybody that knows me knows it's pretty much any show in the Joss Whedonverse, but it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's be honest.
Do you know mine? I've got like 4.
I do know yours. At least 2 of them.
Go ahead.
One of them definitely is Charmed, like the old one, not the newer one. And another one is Pretty Little Liars.
I also like.
If I had to guess, I would say Criminal Minds probably lands on that list.
It does. Again, she knows me very well.
I don't know the 4th one. Tell me the 4th one.
Once Upon a Time.
Oh, I knew that. I did know that. I hesitated. I'm sorry.
That's okay. What's your favorite book? You know mine.
Of course, yours is the Harry Potter series. It's not one book. Ooh, I don't know that I have a favorite book. I have like a favorite series kind of.
I know you like the Narnia series.
That's like and specifically I like the Horse and His Boy and the Last Battle. Which nobody likes the Horse and His Boy, which might be why I like it. But other than that, I would have to say like I really enjoy The Queen's Fool by Philippa Gregory and Witch Child. I don't remember who that one's by, but that was a really good one.
No, also,
I like documentary, like journal style follow alongs.
See, and mine is Harry Potter, but I also like the Hunger Games series and the Twilight series.
Oh, the Hunger Games is good too.
You know, I have the newest one from Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah, what?
Midnight Sun.
Oh, right.
I'm almost done with it. I promise. It's so good.
I have to say, I read the Twilight series, and I can remember enjoying it at the time, but I have tried to like go back and read it and go, I've just read different books since then. So, not knocking it. I loved it at the time. I can remember I actually, when Breaking Dawn came out, I had to get it. It was $25 hardback edition. I couldn't afford it, but I needed it. And then I was reading it, and I was actually at work, and I wound up so absorbed in the book that I wound up just face planting in the back kitchen. Thank God it was like 5 o'clock in the morning and nobody was there to see me, because I was like, it was really.
She falls a lot, so I'm picturing.
Very clumsy.
Oh. Anyway. All right. I don't know. What are some other questions we can answer before we get into talking about our actual channel? Actually, we get asked a lot, what made you start this channel?
Oh, well, that was just, honestly, we were tossing around the idea, right? You
For a
know, for a
long
long
time.
time of just going out and doing like some ghost hunts just for fun.
You good?
Just a little too much light going on now. Sun hits weird in this room.
Well, then, and it also came down to, I live like 20 minutes away from you when I used to live like 5 minutes away from you.
Yeah.
So in order to get to hang out, and I mean, I'm a mom and you're a mom and you were married at the time.
I am married. Don't say we're married at the time. I am married.
She is married.
Everyone. All 3 cameras. Just, I am married.
I'm just stating, like, at the time and now, you're married, I'm married, I was having kids, going to college, so, like, we were just too busy, and then we were like, I really want to hang out. And for a while, I worked with you at Boondoggles.
Oh, right, I did. I ran a little shop for a little while.
We did that for a little while, but it didn't work out. It wasn't the right.
It wasn't us. It was just not the right location.
Yeah, so this was our way of being like, okay, well, what can we do now? And then this just kind of took a life of its own, you know, almost 600 subscribers later.
Yeah.
Which I know that there are people out there with
way
millions more, but
we're
excited.
Took
us a long time to get those first 100, and now we're talking almost 6.
Yeah. I mean, it really, we've been at this
over
for about a year now, a little over a year now.
Yeah. And then we've also, I lost my train of thought. Oh,
that ding went off and it threw you off.
It did.
Sorry, it's one of my Facebook friends. They were commenting on something. Okay.
Yeah, we started this show to get to hang out more because we were friends before the show, and we've always been interested in the paranormal.
Yeah, it's been something that we connected on early on, just telling ghost stories and stuff like that.
And believe it or not, she's older than me.
No.
Like, some people point out, like, they ask us if we're sisters, and I can understand that because we do have, like, a older sister, younger sister kind of dynamic.
Maybe, which is weird because I'm actually the youngest, so
and I'm actually the oldest with my siblings, but with our dynamic, it's like I'm the younger one and she's the older one.
Right. Our moms actually, like, my mom used to run a clinic that her mom worked at, and so that's how we actually got to know one another. That was a long time ago when I was in high school, and I'm old now, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, and then we've been working on this. We started filming a year before we even released, and then COVID happened.
Right. Well, that's another thing that people ask us all the time is how has COVID really affected your filming and whatnot, and it really has had a big effect with the fact that we can't just go out and do stuff, both of us know that we do not have COVID or anything like that. We wear masks. Hey, girl. No. But we wear masks everywhere that we go. We make sure that we do not have COVID. We're together right now, but like we're in a sequestered area of my home. So like she's not even with the rest of my family. Not that I don't trust you or anything like that. I'm just saying.
But we both.
Yeah, we're taking the utmost precautions, and it's
which is why it took us so long and we're not even done with season 1. We have. I don't want to give it away, but we have some really good stuff coming out. We have a really good one coming out in like a little while, like
as soon as we can. We have another location that we've scouted and we've actually gone out to, and it's phenomenal. We can't wait to share it with you guys, but unfortunately, we're not talking about it just yet.
I have to keep remembering to look at all 3 cameras.
Me too. I feel like I'm paying attention to one more than the other, and
we're sorry. We are live on
on at least 3 different devices right now, which is fun.
And like we're on the Gals and Ghosts Facebook live, we're on YouTube, and then we're on Home Life with 2.0 live.
Right. We had planned to have another camera, but unfortunately we're also not tech savvy and we can't figure out how to connect it. Next time, hopefully.
All right, so in today's, we're going to, I guess you want to go ahead and start talking about the 2 episodes that we did?
Yeah, let's get on it.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about our most recent one that we just released, not the one that released was our house investigation, our very first house.
Right.
And we had a lot of questions about that investigation and all the stuff we found. If you haven't
Right.
already seen it, it's on Gals and Ghosts YouTube. But
the first thing that I would like to say about that, though, is a huge thank you to the people that let us into their home and into their personal space. You know, that is actually something, a big thing, to be trusted with not only being in your home, but to be with your things and to leave cameras. It's a huge deal for us. So thank you for that opportunity to be there, number one.
As well as the
hotel.
Yes,
we
the
can't
hotel.
thank Chris and Julie and Connie and Dan enough. You know, I think we can mention their names without
Yes.
dropping too much of a hint, but we cannot thank them enough. This was such a huge opportunity to have even been included in, and we can't wait to share what we found with you guys. For real.
Yes. But we're not going to talk about that.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. We're going to talk about the house. And one of the questions we've been asked is, there's this specific noise at the end of the video that almost sounds like a growling. You hear what sounds like a tapping and then a growling. Some people have asked us, could that be snoring? And we both have opinions about that. I'm going to
let it fly on my face. I apologize. The window's open. Go away. There, I got it. We're good. Continue.
But the noise in the hallway. I don't want to discredit anybody in their claims, but I do not feel like it was a snoring, because it only happened that one or two times. It really only happened twice, and it was towards the end. And if it was a snore, why would it have messed with the camera?
Right. The thing is that y'all might not know exactly. That's my chair. I'm in a rolling chair. It keeps squeaking. The thing that y'all might not actually know is that we go through hours and hours and hours of footage. You know, so the clips that we clip out are the things that stuck out. So somebody snoring would have been like a rhythmic, like, you know, you snore in, you snore out, or you breathe in, you snore out, however it works. You snore, and then you snore, and then you snore. And like my husband snores. So like, I know what living with somebody that snores sounds like. And this was definitely not it. And also, it wouldn't have been so directly in front of the camera. It was so close, and the clicking and the stepping. A lot of people have asked if they have a pet or anything that could have been making that noise.
No.
And they do not. There's nothing there that could explain that noise or the camera interference at the same time. You know, and that's we pride ourselves on our integrity and authenticity. We're not going to bring something to you that, you know, just to say that, you know, oh, well, this was haunted content. You know what I mean? Like, we're not those people. We definitely want to bring you the creme de la creme of what we find.
Yes, and we comb through hours and hours of footage. It's not just, this is, you know, we're not just going to give you, if we gave you everything we had, it'd be 6 to 8 hours worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And we just don't upload that.
If not more, because you have to realize we have more than one camera filming at all times too. Just like we have 3 filming right now, we have, you know, 4 to 5 going at any given time. Whenever we are doing investigations.
It's just telling me who's.
Oh, I just making sure there wasn't a question.
Yes. No. Hi. We want to try and Madison.
We want to try to answer all questions that people have, but if we miss any, just feel assured that we are going to be reviewing and going through and writing down questions.
Yes. But anyway, back to the noise and the snoring. I do not feel like it was snoring.
I don't either. It definitely was a different sound. Now, if you feel a different opinion,
you know, that's on you. We don't tell you how to.
Well, and we could be wrong.
We very well could be, but I've watched hours and hours worth of it, and it only happened, like I said, in that frame of time. And then you have all that stuff that happened when we were gone. It's too bright. It is too bright.
This window, the sun moved. Okay, we're good now. Apologies, everyone.
But yeah, and then all the stuff that happened while we were gone. Okay, y'all gotta understand, we left our cameras, and then we were at that house 2 to 3 days, and all 3 days we left the house and left the cameras alone to do their thing. And most of everything you see, we're not even there for. They have no pets. There's no reason that you should be seeing the kind of camera interference that you saw in the house episode, or hear the kind of noises that you heard in the house episode. it doesn't make sense for that.
That's my child. Just ignore that. I apologize. She's mad. She can't come back here.
She is really mad.
She's 4.
But she's adorable.
I love her so much. Like, that's for real.
But,
we also get a lot of questions as to why we showed the closet and the way that we did. And that there's actually
a story behind it, but for their
we didn't
privacy,
capture it on camera either. It was before the days where, we'd wear GoPros and just capture stuff. Now we know better, but we had to learn that the hard way by missing some important details that people would talk about. And because we don't have it on camera and because it's such a personal story, we
chose to leave. We showed you that we had a camera in there, but when it comes to the closet, not a lot of that. Which, I mean, most of it will be uploaded onto Patreon. But again, there was a really sad story behind that, and for their privacy. And,
right. Since we didn't capture it on camera.
Not worth putting it. Like, we just wanted to show y'all that we had a camera set up in the room, and they had reported activity in that room.
Right.
But we didn't capture anything, so we left it alone. But the hallway, and I don't know if you ever noticed this, but that part in front of the laptop, when it messes with the laptop, it was directly next to the room that we were supposed to be sleeping in.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So, like, we ended up not staying the night because my child got sick. This was before COVID, but my child got sick.
Right.
And we had to rush home, and then we ended up filming that Pedigo cemetery that didn't.
Right.
That, didn't make it onto the channel due to. We'll get to that too.
Yeah,
but,
that's a whole different story.
Yeah, but we.
Sorry, the lighting is so bad. Let me try some here. Worse. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's our first one. Honestly, the lighting on mine.
The lighting on the
great.
phones are great. YouTube is getting just.
I'm
crap.
sorry.
I'm
we will make sure we have better lighting. This is our first one.
I mean, Tommy is better lit than we are. I'm.
But no, we do a lot. But I got to that. Why didn't you stay the night?
Yeah, we went out to that other cemetery, and we had some run-ins there, and we have footage of stuff, but it just wasn't. It's not something we wanted to turn into an episode. We do wind up talking about it on Patreon, or we're going to wind up talking about it on Patreon, as well as in our seasonal book that will be coming out at some point. We're working on compiling all of our history, all of our research, all of our information into something for y'all.
The book that corresponds with season 1 is going to have more in-depth interviews. For time purposes, we end up cutting out a lot.
Again, hours worth of footage. When we're putting together an episode for YouTube, we understand that you guys aren't going to want to watch like 2-3 hours worth of footage. I mean, some of you might, but not everybody's going to sit around for that. And so, we'd rather take out the juicy parts and put together the storyline and make it something that's 30 minutes rather than, 4 hours.
The hotel alone was.
Yeah, the hotel's going to be different. Excuse me. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's going to be different episodes, so it's not even going to be something we can fit into one because, again, we understand that people, they lose interest after about, 15 minutes or so of
now, our live streams are different. This is kind of a Q&A, get to know, but
live streams are different. They can take hours,
Yeah, but the episodes themselves, and they're a lot harder to put together than most people realize. When we first got into this, we were like, oh, no, it's fine. All you editors out there, mad respect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. As soon as we can afford to hire an editor.
All you content creators, mad respect, because this is not easy to do.
Yeah, it's not like, on TikTok where, you can have little bitty edits here, little bitty edits there, and you put together a video very quickly. It's super easy on there. But when you're dealing with, okay, I have to go through and I have to edit 45 minutes worth of footage, right? I have a video that lasts for 45 minutes. So I'm going to go and put it into the editor. So you don't realize that you have to watch this section for a minute and then go, okay, I'm going to clip it here, stop it there. Okay, go back, watch that minute again. And then you get to 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to clip it and stop it here. Go back and watch that minute and a half again. So that 45 minutes becomes 3 hours.
And then when you get to the haunted footage, you have to sit there and watch that
over and over and put your headphones on and verify and see, was that a truck? Was that me? And you have to think. And it's a huge process that can take weeks to really put out an episode.
So that's Mad respect to all of you out there who do it.
Yes, especially people that do it on a daily or a weekly basis. Oh.
Okay, so a next question we get pertaining to not just the house, but other things. Can we see the parts that didn't make it in the show? Yes, you can.
Yes.
That is why we have a Patreon. All of that stuff, bloopers, behind the scenes, hours of raw, uncut, unedited footage, all going to be uploaded on the Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Patreon is a subscription thing, but the tiers are listed, and it's really just to show your support. Eventually, we will be picking out little sections of that and placing it on YouTube as well. But if you want it, quicker than that, then it is on Patreon, or it's not on Patreon yet. It will be uploaded. Y'all get it.
Okay, this is a good one. What was the noise during the interview on the house, and why did you not emphasize on it?
Because it was a growling noise. I'm sorry, the window is open. I apologize. I'm so sorry, everybody. It was a fly.
It's taunting me.
It is. It's all like, hello. Anyway, honestly, one of the reasons that we didn't do it was because when you first listened to it, and she didn't notice it, and when I had edited it the first time, I didn't notice it. And then I got to the end, I heard it so stunningly there. And then we went back and watched it. I went back and watched it again, and I went, oh my God, it is right there.
Which is another reason why I do not personally feel like it was snoring. Because the same noise does happen. If you really listen to the interview, it happens not all the time, and it's never happened again. Like my camera, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, we use the GoPro all the time, and I even tried to Google it, and it was not a thing. I'm very confused.
So
it only happens when he says things like, we built that other section on, that past that wall there, and where the shadow figure walked past in the hallway.
We didn't even.
Yeah, we didn't make that connection right this second, but that's where he was talking about. Where you hear somebody walk right there past that wall there, and then it makes the growl noise. It makes it in weird strategic
and that
places.
Shadow happened when we weren't there.
Yeah,
that shadow person.
We were at the cemetery.
Because I guess that's why people asked if it was a cat or a dog, because it was like really fast, and it almost had the shape of a child.
But there was
no dog, and we weren't there. Hi, Josh. But we weren't there, and there's no pets, no animals. So again, all this stuff happening when we're not there there's no other explanation. Normally, I am big on debunking, like, okay, yeah, that's a dog, but it wasn't a dog.
Yeah, and that's why we left it in there, because we can't. Honestly.
Yeah, so, and then again, with the noise in the interview, we don't hear that stuff until we get home. When we're editing, and that's when I'll call her all the time and be like, you will not believe what we caught. And she's like, I can't wait to get the footage, because our process is it goes to me first.
Right.
Because we used to do it where it went to you, but again, it's hours and hours and hours, and sometimes it just doesn't work. So I get it first. I will go through it. I will take out anything that isn't relevant.
Yeah, like if there's a moment, like 10 minutes where nothing happens and it's just dead space. Like in the Fred investigation, where it's just hours and hours of
45
space there.
minutes.
The Fred investigation
and
took me
only
forever
about
to put
8
together.
of it was actually usable.
Yeah.
So like you get 2 hours of video footage. Well, except for the hotel. The hotel, you will surprise even you. But for the most part, most investigations, you have a 45-minute to an hour video of where only 8 to 10 minutes is really usable footage. And if you have an action-packed like the house was, where you're trying to show everything that happened, we have to cut out a lot of useless stuff.
Right.
Our flukes are a little different. Our flukes work differently. We don't mind.
Oh, well, right, because we've had 1 or 2 flukes that we've put on our channel, and that's because we want everybody to know that we're not just going to say that a place is haunted just because it has a rumor of being haunted either. I mean, I know we didn't plan on talking about
Forest Lawn,
but that is one place that, like the kissing statues in Beaumont that we had investigated, and don't get me wrong, the trick of the light did make it look one way or the other, but when you get closer, you realize nothing's actually happening. It's just a trick of the light.
We're not going to lie and say it did. That's like the other fluke that didn't get aired, but it will be on Patreon, is Bilbo.
Right.
with the whole, there was these two statues, a little boy and a little girl statue, and like at first I was like, why does her face look different? And then it turns out it was an entire lighting issue.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to sit here and say, oh, that was a demon or that was
Yeah.
a ghost, when it's a lighting issue.
Yeah.
So our I can't say that word.
Authenticity
is the most important to us. So what we gave you on the house is what we believe to be
right.
haunted. I mean, nobody's there.
Well, I mean, for instance, like there's an ice maker and stuff like that makes really loud noises occasionally and whatnot. We edited all of that out because it's obvious that it's an ice maker.
And
well, like in Frank Branch, which we're going to get to talking about in a minute. There's certain noises that people ask about, and we're like, we make sure we go through hours of footage and listening to stuff and listening to
stuff that. Now, if it's like Forest Lawn and nothing happened, we'll leave that stuff in to show you, this is a fluke. But the house was not a fluke.
Mm-mm.
The house had paranormal stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave you what we found to the best of our ability and tried to keep it in a time crunch. Because that's another thing we adhere to is we try not to go over like 35, 40 minutes.
Right, right.
And
we do, because we don't want to overload you guys.
You have any other questions you can think about related to the house? I don't think we have any more.
No, I think that was the last one.
All right. Well, then we can go ahead and talk about Pedigo because it kind of more into Pedigo because it kind of
we did say we were going to get to that.
So when we went to film this house, they told us about this cemetery called the Pedigo Cemetery, and we decided to check it out, but we chose not to make it into an episode because we were robbed, which I guess is okay to say.
Yeah,
we didn't want to incriminate anybody, especially if those people didn't do it. And it's just
right, because we did capture some people on camera driving by and stuff, and without that footage, like if we if we omit all of the footage of like the people driving by and whatnot,
then it seems like we're faking it.
Yeah, and we also don't want to say and proclaim that any footsteps that we heard were supernatural when in fact they were some body actually messing with us.
Yes.
Like that's just not.
Because they did. At one point, I am convinced that when we were out in it, they went back into that chapel and put the pennies down.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff that I'm sure that they were messing with us on that one. So
we just chose. I mean, we're not to say that we won't ever make it into one, or that it won't, because it will end up on Patreon at some point.
Yeah,
it's in the book. I'm putting it in the book. So it's not going to be on the Gals and Ghosts YouTube channel, right? But it is on other platforms. But Deer in the House, we did do that one. It's just that's also why we don't, we're not going to fake it. Like she said, there's no way that we could have uploaded that and it not felt like it was faked.
Exactly.
So, but that's going to tie in those two because there's not really much to go on about Pedigo unless you've seen it and they haven't seen it because we haven't uploaded it to any.
True.
But it will be in the book and it will be on the Patreon eventually. We also like to take this minute again to thank the Boudreaux family.
Right, for allowing us into their home. It's a huge opportunity and a huge amount of trust, and we really, really do appreciate it.
Yes, I'd never expected so soon. That's like the hotel.
Yeah,
I love y'all too. We can't talk about the details of that one because we have not finished it, nor have they seen what we've gotten.
Yes.
And we want them to see it first.
Right. We want them to see all of the stuff that we captured before we even start talking about any of it.
But we cannot express how grateful we are. And it's amazing to get to do this. I mean, I love it.
Right.
All right. The next one we're going to talk about is our very first one, which, by the way, our editing from the first one to this one,
completely
drastically different.
I mean, if you go and you watch our first investigation and you go and you watch the house, it's like we learned. We both learned how to edit better. And I'm not saying like, oh, we're really good. No, but like we're definitely better than we were, Yes, I'm getting it. She's getting it. We're getting it.
But, okay. So
even with the amount of cameras as well, We at Frank Branch, we only had
an iPad and
we
our
had one
phones.
iPad. We had both of our phones, but one of your phone we did not have. We only had one phone. We had the one phone. Your phone was used as the EVP recorder, which we need to get an EVP recorder for real.
Yeah,
for real.
There's a lot of equipment.
Well, speaking, we're gonna segue back to the hotel here for a minute because there is equipment that we would love to take back to places like Frank Branch, like the K2 meters that we were exposed to.
Chris
again,
and Julie let us use
and
some of the
Connie
stuff
and
they
Dan,
had.
they
let us
did.
use some of their
actual like
equipment,
and
I want it.
Yeah, phenomenal experience. We definitely have things on the want list now. Because we'd like to take these things back to the Frank Branch Cemetery because there was so much that we couldn't capture,
Speaking of so much, that lost footage that was no longer lost. We had this video on my tablet that was inside the church while we were outside.
Oh, right.
That I could not get off
in time for the video.
And then I finally got it off, and now we're just like, well, even if anything did happen, it
doesn't matter now.
Episode's already out, but our editing skills have improved drastically.
Yeah, well, and filming as well. We've learned quite a bit about how to film better on the phones and things like that.
We also have a camcorder.
We have an actual camcorder, a standalone camera, a GoPro. We have all kinds of things now that we are working with, and so it's a little easier.
It's so different. But okay, so Fred, which it's in Fred, Texas, but it's called the Frank Branch Cemetery.
Yeah.
I actually convinced her to go to it because my family on my dad's side has been buried there for years. So I've been going to this church, this abandoned church, since I was a kid. And I had an experience that I talked about in the episode that I'm going to go into a little bit more depth here. But she's heard this one before. And even she was like, whoa. For their benefit, though, because I wasn't really able to go into it on the episode.
I know.
Okay, so when I was a teenager, I was the kid that thought it was fun to take my boyfriend and my friends to haunted places. Like, we go to cemeteries all the time. Well, my mom took us out to this one, and my mom was on board with it. My mom loves this stuff. But we went out, and we spent some time in the church, and he mistaked me for a ghost. I have never forgotten that, like, ever. Sorry. I have never forgotten that because I have almost chalky.
She's scarred from
I have chalky skin, and so I was sitting in the church, and I remember him coming up to me very slowly, kind of like and I was sitting there being very quiet, being very patient, trying very hard. Finally, I kind of got aggravated, and I was like, what? And he goes, oh, I thought you were a ghost. And I have still to this day, despite the fact this is an ex-boyfriend and we are no longer, I have never forgotten that. So you scarred me forever. Anyway, same boyfriend. We go out into the cemetery, and this was like why I forgave you back. You know this story too, don't you?
I do.
So we're standing out in the cemetery, and me and my mom and my sister on one end, and a bunch of my friends on the other. And my boyfriend of the time was standing at the very edge, almost kind of looking towards the woods. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
The woods in the back.
Right.
There was a church, and a newer church, which wasn't there when I was a teenager, in woods in the back. And he was standing there, and he was looking out at the, what does that say?
Don't worry about that. It was just my computer saying that my Google Drive storage is full.
Anyway, so we were standing out in the cemetery, and the reason that this is relevant, because it's going to lead us into what we saw in the cemetery.
My phone is getting warm.
What we saw in the, I feel really bad because you got two people on.
Sorry, hang on, everybody. We're right here. I'm so sorry. So I'm just going to take my case off. It's all good. We're back.
But we were in the cemetery, and the same cemetery that me and you stood in with the shadow. We'll get to that. but he keeps looking. She's heard this story 100 times, and honestly, it still makes both me and her laugh. So he's standing there and he's looking really intently. He's just like, and like he starts waving to something, and I'm looking at this fool like, I'm like, what are you doing? And he's, come here. Well, finally, I'm just like, I can't watch this anymore because he starts walking, and I'm like, why? Where are you going? What? Because I didn't see what he saw, and I called his name. I'm not going to say it on camera because again, this is an ex, and I'm not going to do that. I love
we
my
don't,
husband.
don't call out exes on camera.
I love my husband very much, but this is just about the experience. I call out to him, and he turns and he looks at me, and his
fly, man, it's messing with you. Turns and looks at you,
and his face, he just was so shocked, like, and he was looking at me, and he looked back to the woods, and then he looked back at me, and it looked like a cartoon. But he looks at me, and he does that several times, and I guess something in his mind clicked because he starts running at me like a bull. Like I froze because I'm scared. Like, why is my boyfriend running at me? He picks me up, throws me over his shoulder, like, and starts running through the same graveyard that we don't know how we didn't kill ourselves in.
For real, there was a fucking metal pipe sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, like he's running through the exact same cemetery, running full force with me on his back, and I'm like, just let me down. She remembers me back then, so she can, because I was like, I weighed like 98 pounds.
It just scooped you up.
Yeah,
like a sack of potatoes.
And I was like, let me down. Well, he threw me into my mom's car, and he locked everybody out of the car. My mom, everybody. Finally, we got him to calm down and let everybody back in the car, but he wanted to leave. He finally told me after we left, he was like, no, I saw you in the woods, and I couldn't figure out how you got over there. And I kept trying to get you to come back. He was telling me this. He was like, no, whatever was in the woods had your face.
That's weird because her family is buried there, you know? Like, so was it like, you know, one of her ancestors or like a ghost of somebody like that? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, but he's just like, it was you. He's like, it was you. And then you call, like, he's like, I felt compelled to go find out why you were over there. And I was like, oh. And he said, so when you called my name, it's like I snapped out of it. And I looked at you, and when I looked at you and I looked back, I expected it to be gone, but it wasn't. And that's got to be terrifying to be like, that's my girlfriend. That's still there. That's my girlfriend. That's not my girlfriend. That thing's still there. Like, you know.
It's trippy.
So like I've had experiences at this same place, and that's why I wanted you to see it, which leads us into the shadow figure.
Oh, in the graveyard? In
the graveyard while we were in the graveyard, and we had our cameras in the church. We'll talk about a little bit about that too in a little bit. But I can't remember. I think I was telling this story on camera when I just stopped.
Yeah, and for some reason we were both looking over in this area, and it kind of looked like, I don't know, like a big like a hunched fit, like a robe almost. But I thought, is that a gravestone? Like, is that one that we just missed during the day? Like, is that a headstone, like of a Grim Reaper or something? That's almost the shape it looked like. You know what I mean? Like the hood up here and stuff.
I don't know.
Like how we would have missed. I'm pretty sure we would have put that, you know, in the episode. It would have made it in there. But we just don't remember seeing that. And so we were both really like, what is that? And then it stood up and we were like, oh, okay, we need to leave. And for some reason we thought running into an abandoned church would be the best idea. We're not the brightest at all times. But we're loaded. So no.
There was many things that happened even inside the church that I asked myself when I got home and watched it. Why were we not scared for our lives? And what made us think that going into the church was a good idea? I mean, that could have been a murder.
Yeah, like that's how people die on film, and we just it happened. We just went right for it.
And then we were like, we shut the doors, and granted, you gotta think these doors don't lock. And what's the first thing we say? Oh, we feel safe.
Yeah, it feels better in here. It feels better in here.
I don't know. And people have asked, do we know what it was that was in the graveyard? To this day, no.
No.
I mean,
No.
we were lucky it wasn't a murderer or like, I don't,
Yeah, but it didn't pursue. I mean, it could have been. I'm half convinced that it was just, a person, like, I don't know, drunk or something in the graveyard that also saw us and freaked out just as much and took off the other way. I'm half convinced that's what it was.
Yes. But again, honestly, even with Pettigo, like, we didn't think anybody was there, and I mean, that could have ended up bad, but no,
we're loaded. We're never really worried. I mean,
but
it's never really gonna be a problem. I mean, for us, but
an abandoned church, with no locks,
that question of
and broken windows.
Yeah, that question of how apt are you to survive a horror movie? We just proved that. Well, we are definitely gonna run upstairs, and with our high heels on, like we're not gonna take them off. Just
we are those girls.
Okay.
Okay. Now that was really all that happened other than that little part where we thought that the reflection of the other church was something.
Right.
But like, it took us a while to debunk that, but we finally got to the point where we were like, okay, no, we are not seeing a floating light inside of the church.
Right.
It is a reflection behind us. But other than those two incidents, we didn't really experience anything else in either the older cemetery that's been there since the 1800s.
Right. That one was actually peaceful.
Or the newer one, which, I mean, neither one of them, other than the figure, which we're not going to say is a haunted figure, because it very well could have been
an actual
some
person.
guy just sleeping out there, and we scared the living daylights out of
Oh, no.
Because it just stood up, and I'm like, and we ran, and how we did not die.
I don't know.
No clue, because there was a pole sticking out of the ground.
Like
we
rebar,
the next day.
like stuck like 3 foot out of the ground in the path that we ran through. And the crazy part was there was like a big hole. Like,
and she's clumsy. So,
yeah.
Well, I am too. I can't really say it's just her. It's
my instincts though, our instincts kicked in, and we made it out.
She drugged me though, like drugged me out. Like, she grabbed my hand, and in both incidents, when we ran out of the church
and the house, or the church and the graveyard.
Yeah. Both times she like grabs me, so I know that I'm, she's not going to leave me behind.
I never leave a man behind. At least know that if you're going into like a haunted place with me, you're coming out that haunted place with me. I'm not leaving you behind.
Yeah, she grabbed me in both instances. It took my mind a few minutes to catch up, but she was already there. We went back the next day. We were like, there's a hole there, and there's a hole there. And like, we were running over graves, like jumping graves.
Yeah, just like
neither one of us had the ability to do this. But
I don't know how we did it.
We were scared.
They say that like that what is it, adrenaline kicks in when you're in fight or flight. That's what it was. We were in flight mode, and it's just like you have these instincts you don't know, until you're pressed.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to lead us into we're going to talk about the inside of the church. Okay. First of all, the inside of the church, when we left our cameras and we were out in the graveyard, I want to go ahead and talk about that, because none of that was found until we got home and watched it.
Right. That is one of the things that we really love to do, is leave like a standalone camera in a place that we're not in. So while we go conduct an investigation somewhere else, yeah, like you see our flashlights and you can hear us talking to each other outside in the graveyard.
But then you hear other things inside the church. And I'm sorry, you have this one friend who swears up and down because she does not want to believe.
She called me and she was like, it's a raccoon. It's like a family of raccoons, and you can't convince me otherwise. No.
And then she even goes into the spiel. She was telling me that she went into the spiel about how the mama was talking.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, wait. No, that would be even weird.
Yeah, like when the talking happened at the end, they were like, that was just the mama raccoon just talking to her babies. They're telling them good night. And I'm like, girl. Aside from the fact that raccoons can't talk, like.
She called me and told me that story
cracking up.
after it happened, and I just, if you want to believe it's a raccoon,
whatever helps you sleep at night. If you want to, if it's snoring to you in the house, whatever helps you sleep. Like it's okay.
But a talking raccoon mother.
Like it had a backstory. It had babies. I have some kooky friends, y'all. No.
But there was this one in that footage that sounded like, I don't know what it sounded like to you, but it sounded like a Bible dropping.
Oh,
or like a book dropping.
Yeah, no, and that was one of the weird things that I wanted to talk about, because it's something that the cameras, our microphones and whatnot didn't really pick up. The most interesting part was, when we're sitting there for a little while, sitting inside the church on the pews, it almost like the sound of pages turning, just like that, like somebody turning a page. But of course, that didn't pick up on the camera. You don't hear that, but it's like we could hear that from behind us. And I mean, maybe there was a bird or something, but it was odd because we didn't hear flapping of wings. Because in Pedigo, remember, we actually have footage of us like, oh God, that's a bird. You know what I mean?
And I even said some weird, funky thing. I was like, I know you were going to be up there, Mr. Bird.
Yeah, like we started talking to this bird because it's freaking us out,
So like, in this church, like we knew it wasn't an animal.
And we'd been in there all day. I mean.
And then that night after the shadow figure, because we just thought we were safe.
Yeah, we're gonna let's sit inside this church for a little while on this pew and listen, really.
But there's that whole video that we haven't even watched it because we couldn't get it off the tablet. We don't know what's been caught in that video. But we left it in the pew and we went out there. You hear, and it still puts me on edge.
Like the really close to the camera whisper. That was odd. Though the creepiest part for me, again, one of those things where we should have run when we didn't. When we were in the church at the very end, and we're talking to each other, and we're both, and I'm looking at her I have my camera pointed at her, and I'm like, I can't see you. It's all black. Shine your light at me.
And I'm shining my flashlight.
And I can see her flashlight, but I can't see it on camera. You know what I mean? And
like
so
she can see me in person.
Right, but I'm not picking her up on the camera. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't get you on camera. And that's
we thought it was just camera failure, but
well, you can hear us talking about, I can't see you. Shine your light at me. You can hear us saying that. Are you ready? Can you see me? You can hear us asking each other this. But then there's another voice that's answering like, yeah, okay. And somebody else is answering
at the same
time that we're trying to talk to one another. And it's like one of those things where, if you're in a ghost investigation and you can't see the flashlight coming up on the camera, you should probably run. We did not.
We're just like, it's camera failure. It's fine.
We're skeptics at heart. I mean, I will smack talk a ghost until it smacks me in the face. I'm
the hotel. She like taunts them.
I do.
There was this. You said, and I know it's part of the hotel, which hasn't come out. You said, I'm not going to believe you unless you make it turn red. And then now we have pictures, which we're not going to show, but we have pictures. And I'm like,
it definitely made us know it was there.
Okay, so
but not while we were there.
When I edit, I leave her notes in my editing so she can read it. And you have a lot ones that literally just says WTF, Haley. And then at one point, I was like, I love you. Shut up.
I'm a skeptic at heart. I'm gonna be all like, man, there's nothing here. Like every time that she gives me footage, like from the house and all this stuff, I'm thinking, there's not. I'm gonna look at this. All right, and then I go into it and I'm all like, oh God, what is that growling noise? Like it's ridiculous. Like I shrink in on myself and I'm freak. I called her and I was like, this is freaking my dinky out, man. Like I was not okay.
There's many, and now I told her. During the editing process, I want to film it. And like, even if it's just Patreon bloopers.
Well, for the hotel, I've started doing that.
Her face. Like, okay, you have one coming up, and I'm not going to tell y'all what happens in it. But I've told you it's the children's room. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, she doesn't tell me what's going on. She's just like, I can't wait until you watch it so that then you can call me and tell me how you felt about it.
I know I'm getting a call. And I told you, I don't care what time of night it is. I don't care. When you watch this footage, call me. Because my sister has seen it, and she almost peed herself. I love you, but she was like, what is that? And I was like, okay, you heard it too, but anyway, we got to get off the hotel. We cannot be talking about the hotel.
Yeah, that's not for now. It's coming out later.
All right, back to the church. Was the ball rolling on the floor possibly a creaking noise made from the floor? So, like, what they mean is there's this part where we all hear this.
Right, and I remember specifically being, whoa, do you hear that? It sounds like a ball rolling. And the reason that I don't think that it was footsteps, honestly, I don't think that it was a creaking or a creaking of the floorboards. It's because, remember, we went right after that, and, like, it's fly. I'm sorry.
I mean, we've been walking on those floors the whole time.
Well, and it didn't happen when we walked in there originally. It didn't happen when we, ran in after that fly. It's just a fly. Shoo, fly, don't bother me. No. When we ran into out of the graveyard, it wasn't there at that point. And we even did the test where we walked back over it, and I thought, well, maybe it was just me, maybe it was my weight, and so I walked back over it, but no, and it didn't make the same noise. So, like, we always go back and try to do like another test and to make sure that's not what it was. And I thought we included that in the episode, but I might cut it out.
It's been so long.
It's been so long since I've watched it now.
But I don't think we cut it out. I think it actually made it in there.
Yeah. But we did go walk back over.
It's been so long. We've done so much between then and now.
Hard to believe. Yeah, we really have, and we have so many more things in store. We do have some for the next couple of seasons that we'd really love to get to.
Yeah, because on our YouTube we do a top 5 list, and what that is top 5 places. We do random drawings because we thought it would be fun.
Right. Or we'll do like special mentions, like soon that we didn't draw, but it is a random like just place that we thought would be fun to mention.
But it's like 5 places within, and don't get me wrong, there's other places I want to go within that state, but these are the like,
if we had our druthers,
to say we could also like draw that state again, and there'll be plenty.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah,
but it's places that we would like to go. We would like to get in and see if we can catch anything.
Right. Like for instance,
we're a bare bones crew, and like
Well, that's one thing that I really wanted to go over. We, even if we have a camera guy or a photographer along with us, that's it. And they don't go anywhere that's not with us.
I could say, like, and they're not really a part of the, other than maybe like a camera
but like
guy,
we're tracking every movement. We're still, they're still.
Chris and
even with Chris and Julie and Connie,
there were points where he'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I bumped the wall."
Exactly.
And I'd look over and be like, "Okay, he's there. Okay, he bumped the wall."
Or we say that was me, or like
everybody's always in view of everybody.
Yeah, we will never do the thing because there's so many. When in so many supernatural shows, people can say, "Oh, well, that footstep that you heard upstairs wasn't actually a footstep upstairs. It was one of your colleagues walking." And it's like that's never a concern with us because if we have anybody with us, they're with us. They're not anywhere else on the property. They're right next to us. We don't separate for that reason. We never want anybody to call into question whether or not we made something up or we used this and set it up like that to sound like that. Our integrity really is very important to us and how we conduct these investigations.
Yes, it is. Which is also why the ball rolling, all those tests we do, we literally sit there and test and everything we can to disprove it until the point that it's like, can you really disprove it?
Right. That even we've gone through and we've said, oh, I'm so sorry, my phone I'm blowing up. People have asked if the bench moving, like the pew, there's I can't make the noise happen, but a scooching noise that happens in the church, and people are like, how do you know that's not an 18-wheeler going by or anything like that? And is your husband watching?
Are we live?
We're live on Gals and Ghosts here.
Then why is my picture up?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Anyway.
Quit it. They disappeared now. You scared him. No.
Anyway, go for what you
so
want.
anyway, people have asked us, how do you know that's not an 18-wheeler or anything like that, you know? And one of the things that we point out again is that we go through hours and hours and hours of footage.
We spent hours and hours and hours in that.
Well, exactly. And in those hours of footage, there were more than one 18-wheeler that had gone by that had used their air brake or things like that we could hear. You know, this was different because it literally made us startle in the church. We had been in there.
On my arm.
Yeah, it was in the room with us. And it was just something simple as like a chair moving back. It was, I'm getting upset talking about it. It was so close in the room with us.
Yeah. Your dog. And your child.
And my child.
I highly doubt that it was an 18-wheeler because she's already pointed out. We've been in this church for hours and we've heard vehicles pass for hours. We even had noted it. You can't count how many times on film we say, that's a car, you know, and then we go about our investigation. But we were sitting there and our dumb butts were basically taunting. Well, I mean, it wasn't really taunting. We were politely asking.
Yeah, we asked.
If there's anything.
We don't ever just go, hey, guys.
And it just went, well, I mean, you say we don't, but there are times
so polite.
In the hotel where I'm like, shut up.
I just want them to talk to me.
No, and in the hotel at one point she says, oh, come on, just tap us. And I'm like, what? What?
I almost spent my drink.
I haven't. That's the part where I literally was like, WTF, shut up.
I haven't watched that part yet, so it's really funny.
Oh, I can't wait till you watch me fall off the bed.
Shh. Don't tell everybody I fell off the bed. I fall off the porch. I fall off the bed.
Oh my God, my poor aunt.
I missed the step and I completely just fell and tumbled out into her aunt's porch. It was captured on the doorbell, like ringing out into, and just to see my hair just fly by the camera as I fall over.
And I'm like, are you okay?
Fine. It happens all the time.
I don't want to talk about it.
Anyway, back to Fred.
Okay, so a lot of people asked if we caught anything in the piano room.
Good question. Unfortunately, we did not. It was too loud because that room where the piano was in the back where the doors don't exactly close.
No, because then the door was broke and wouldn't shut properly.
Yeah, so we couldn't block out the road noise.
The road noise was so much louder in that room than it was in the rest of the church. And the way the church was is you had the big area and you had a door over here and a door over here, but there was another door inside. Like when you walked in and you on both doors, a door led to each other.
Right, and that's where the piano was. And so you had this one room with the piano with two doors that led into the other area with broken windows that wouldn't close right, and then a door leading outside that didn't close right. So it was too loud.
And we did try leaving an EVP recording. And at one point, I do still think we heard a piano, but again, there was so much interference.
It's hard to
that I couldn't authenticate it. So
we need a real EVP recorder one day, and we really want some of those K2 meters to go back. Because unfortunately, what made us run out of the church, like the footsteps and stuff and the banging that we heard, we could not, because we were in the piano room, we could not pick that up on camera.
So you don't actually hear what sent us running.
Yeah, and then you can't hear what we're screaming at because we're running out.
But we heard it, and
it was like
a lot of people asked us, "Do you believe that you were being chased?"
Yes.
They did not chase us until
we were running.
We were leaving.
It wasn't until we were running.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we did kind of talk about it being children. It could have been at that point they were playing. We were already running. You know what I mean? Because we got startled, screamed, and then ran back through the church. Why didn't we just run out of the building? There was a door to the outside.
Oh my God, you're so right. I didn't think
we were right by an exit door. We didn't run out of the building.
There was an exit door. Instead, we took the longest.
We ran back through the haunted church like dummies.
Oh, but then again, at the same time, there could have been thorns outside because remember there was a bunch of big bushes because we tried walking around the church.
I do now.
We tried walking around the church to make sure there was no purple. I
just don't know if I would have even thought about that.
I just don't. Again,
I guess we're lucky
we
didn't.
stayed in the first place, and then there's a door right there that we could run out of, and we choose to go through the whole church.
Right.
I was able to kill it. It landed on my hand.
Nice.
But no, there's so much that happened, and we have other investigations we've done, but we're going to save them for future live streams. We really just wanted to get into. We talked a little bit about Bilbo, but we'll get more into Bilbo later. Just like
big woods and things like that.
We got Big Woods. We've got Saratoga. We have done episodes.
Yeah.
They're all on. Well, the ones that we were releasing on YouTube, and then the rest of them will just probably end up footage on Patreon.
Right. But y'all will get the good ones. We at least have a couple episodes that'll be coming out soon.
And some top fives.
It's just hard to work on them again because COVID, limits any time that we have. Because again, I can't, my kids aren't in school, things like that. So it's like you can't just have somebody over to your house to babysit and things like that. So it's hard for me to get time to focus on editing until they're in bed, and so it's just difficult.
It took me a while to get her the footage edited. The only reason I powered through the hotel was because it was so freaking awesome. But I feel like once you start watching it, you're gonna experience the same thing.
Oh, I know. I have been recording my reactions, so I'm excited to see those.
Yeah, I'm excited to see those. But we talked about the top 5. We are going to be starting a Gals and Ghosts TikTok.
Right. We're just going to give it a little bit of time. We're trying to compile the best things for y'all and whatnot. We do have personal TikToks, which we tried to stream from, but failed. Sorry about that.
We also do have merch.
We do have merch. We are working on getting an actual online store where y'all can go and order from. Give us a little bit of time to get that set up. We did just get it together. The shirts are actually over there, but we didn't think about that before we started filming. But we have official Gals and Ghosts merchandise. And if
we
y'all
also have the we dropped a video of us wearing those shirts. So if you
Right.
want to see what they look like, there is a video showing the shirts. And we have other shirts coming out. We have potential mugs coming out.
Yes. Any ideas that y'all have for merchandise that you would like to purchase or things that you would be more interested in purchasing with our logos or whatnot on it, drop them. Let us know. Give us your ideas of what you think would be good things. Where was I going with that? I hope the cameras picked up whatever noise just came out of her gullet, because it came from her diaphragm.
I was like, I've been drinking water, so
kind of an alien.
I
think we discussed everything on my list aside from dropping these two here.
Oh, talk about dream locations. Okay, let's bring up a few.
We mentioned that we do have a few spots that we would like to go to, but we didn't say anything. One of the things for soon that we would love to be and just be so interested in going to is if we could get entrance into the Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
That's
wow.
a good one. Victoria's Black Swan Inn.
Yes. As well as Hotel Galvez in Galveston.
Yes.
Those 3 would be top on our list of places that we would like to go in the near future.
We have a few cemeteries too that we want to do.
Right. But we can mostly go.
That's the one with the train, the
train depot. And we have to have permission to be there. There are a few cemeteries. We love historic cemeteries as well. It's just difficult because so many places, one bad apple spoils the tree, and you have so many people that have just been so disrespectful. It's like a Big Wood Cemetery. If we could have been there after hours, the things that we could have captured, on
top of what we did, which we won't go into because that's
right. Episodes up on YouTube. You have any questions about it? Catalog them. We'll get to them next time. But yeah, certain places, if we could be there after dark, it would be so good.
And we have there was some mentions in our previous top 5 Washington. I'd love to go to Washington.
Oh God, yes. I would love to stop by a few of the haunted places in Tennessee as well.
Oh, there's Louisiana, Marie Laveau.
Of course, Louisiana would be great. There's many places we plan to go to Louisiana in the near future. It's just
there's so many in New Orleans. I'm saying New Orleans, whatever you say.
I mean, Nolens, New Orleans. New Orleans. Lots of people call it different names. I just, you know,
New Orleans. That's what I call it.
we're going to go about a 5-hour trip.
But honestly, New Orleans is known for so many. There's a bar and pub that we want to do.
There's a couple of good hotels out there.
Yes. Honestly, New Orleans has so many that we could do an entire season there.
Same with Austin. But, you know, I mean, there's other, like, you could go as well as, like, the Alamo. If we could get, I know that the Alamo is such a big place, but, like, if we could one day get the permission to be there after hours in the Alamo, that would be just, because I mean, like, have you ever been to the Alamo? I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Alamo, you know, but for us Texans, it's a big deal. But you know, I've been there, and like when you go there and you see like the bullet holes in the wall, and you just feel chill bumps all over your body, and it's like you can almost still hear the echoes of battle when you're in there. So I would love to put an EVP recorder and use the K2 meters and whatnot in there, and just have a silent moment to listen inside the Alamo, because I really think that that's one of my top places.
For me, it's Arizona, Tombstone.
Oh God, yes.
My mom, my parents
I have to bring my mom.
My parents went.
I can't go without you, Ma.
My aunt, or well, actually, she's my nanny. If I call her aunt to her face, I get reminded that I am your nanny. And so my nanny, she went up there and she captured a picture, and it's not real, and I'm not going back. And I'm like, it's not real, then why aren't you going back? But I'd love to go to Tombstone. There's places in Disney World that I would love to go.
Oh yes, speaking of, we will be dropping a Disney top 5 coming up soon. Hopefully once COVID's all over and done with, we can get into Disney World again. You know, we can start actually touring places.
I don't want to go to Disney.
I just want to go to Disney World. I don't, you know, they don't have to even let us investigate. We can just go and take pictures. We're in front of the Haunted Mansion, you know? We're in front of it.
I'd also love to do haunted cruises. If there are haunted cruises out there, send me on that.
Yes.
There's so much we want to do. There's so many places.
Although, can we please be on the haunted cruise when it's like docked and not like when it's at sea? Because I don't want to be trapped at sea.
I'd like to be able to run.
I would like to be able to get off the boat, please. No.
Oh my goodness. There's so many I want to do. I want to go to New York. There's some really good ones up in New York too. I just want to go to New York. Can you just send me?
Can I go find some Broadway ghosts? Like
another one I want to do is the Plaza Theater.
Oh yes, El Paso. One of the oldest theaters.
Yeah, so if y'all know anybody who can make that happen,
that
also kind of
share
leads
this
into
video.
one of our there's kind of leads us into this question: will there be a season 2?
Yes. It might take us a while to get filmed and get out, because again, we both have jobs, we both have families, we both have children, there's so much going on all the time, you know. And so,
but we are going to continue.
Absolutely. I mean, not to really, we're having fun at it. We're getting better at it. One day, hopefully soon, we can actually hire an editing team. You know, if you would like to intern as an editor for Gals and Ghosts, just hit us up, please. Yes. Please. No.
I mean, we would not mind. Again, we love all of those content creators out there. This is not easy to do. It's also why it takes.
We got a message to Gals and Ghosts. Hello.
We have to read it.
It said hi. It wasn't a comment. It was a message. Just said hi. Hello. Hi.
I'm like, you can't just ignore these.
It wasn't a comment. It'll show.
I see it now.
You see how your comment it'll show up as a comment.
I see it now.
We're too old for this now, guys. We don't understand technology. Was there anything else you wanted to go over?
No, according to the time, we've been live for
about an hour and 15 minutes.
It's not bad for our first live stream. That's all the questions I can think of. Unless you want to do a couple more Q&A questions about us personally.
Well,
like for instance, are you married? I know the answer. Are you married?
Yes. We covered this earlier as I
You
screamed
got
into the
2
camera.
how many
I'm
kids?
married. I am married. You didn't remember that conversation of me screaming into all 3 cameras
How
about it?
many kids do you have?
2.
2.
All right.
A girl and a boy, and we both had our girls first.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, we both had our girls and then our boys.
Yeah. And what's weird is we actually had our boys almost simultaneously. Like
No, we were working.
she was
at
pregnant.
Boondoggles.
That's why that business kind of failed, because we both got pregnant. So
I got pregnant 2 weeks later. She told me she was pregnant.
yeah.
And then, how old is Wally?
Wally is 2.5.
Robert's 3.
Oh yeah, so it was a couple months later.
Yeah,
a couple months later. Yeah.
But like it was right after I had Robert. Like, because I had that whole I can't walk, I can't do this, and then I had Robert, and then you were like, "Yay, we can get back to work!" And then
I was like,
a week
"I'm
later,
pregnant,"
and I'm like, "No, we can't." No, it was fun running Boondoggles though. Which, by the way, in a later video, you're going to have to tell people why you chose Boondoggles.
My maiden name is Boone, and I have a dog.
And then her logo thing was
my dog. It was my husband and I's dog, Butters. I do like this. Like, he has a big heart head. He does have he's giant. He's a Great Pyrenees. Which we looked up the other day how long Great Pyrenees has lived. Not that this is important to anybody here, but we looked up, and apparently they live, for about 10 years or whatever. But then we looked up, because he's blended with a cur. And so we looked up how long they live, and it's about 18 years. And it's like, well, dadgum, Butters, you're not going anywhere for a while, are you? Just a giant, lovable beast. It's not going to go nowhere. It's good to know.
I'm trying to think of another personal questions. We can do a few more.
How long have you been married? I mean, I know.
No, hold on. Sorry. 10 years.
What year did you get married?
I got married in 2011. My 10-year high school reunion is coming up, and so is my wedding anniversary. We were supposed to go on a cruise, and then got canceled.
Okay. All right. I've been married since 2013, so I've been married for 7 years. Yeah, point it out. Yeah, just a little bit more. Yeah. Again, I was engaged 4 times, people. 4.
No, I love you, but I didn't realize that.
Make me say it out loud.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I got married in 2. But then again, I also walked away with my marriage license before I even had my diploma.
It's true.
I got married in high school. And no, I was not pregnant. I actually did not get pregnant with my daughter until... Oh. Is that your son?
She's knocking on the window. Sorry.
But a little over a year and a half later, I got pregnant with my daughter. So I did not get pregnant in high school. And my 10-year high school reunion is coming up. And I don't know how I feel about that.
I didn't go to mine. Not because I don't like, people or anything like that. I'm a very nervous type person, and I mean, I had just had a baby, like all kinds. It was just an awkward time of life. So I want to go to the next one.
Yeah, but that also means I'm almost 30.
I love being in my 30s. I'm not even gonna kid y'all. All right, I don't care that I'm in my 30s. I love being in my 30s. I feel more myself. I feel more connected to myself. I feel just better as a person. I feel skinnier.
Well, I'm not there yet.
Well, you only dread 30 until you turn 30, and then you're like, oh, well, I still feel the same. Okay, good. What I want to know is, what age does that whole ability to just start day drinking come in? Because you see like people that are in their 40s that just like wake up and they're like, I'm gonna have margaritas at lunch or mimosas, and I'm like, I have one margarita and I'm just like, I gotta go take a nap. How do y'all do it? What age does that ability kick in where I can just start? Because I would love to sit outside and just have a martini. When does that kick in? At 45? I'm fine if it's 45. I know I have something to look forward to. No.
I am not quite at that level yet. I mean, I'm still like, I'm not 30 yet.
No, you're not.
I have to remind myself I'm only 28.
I think to myself, my daughter is knocking on the window that's in our room. Y'all hear that? That's my 4-year-old trying to get my attention over there.
Oh, we're almost done.
They love us so much.
Oh, thank you for the heart.
Aw, hello, Dommy. Hello.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of a couple more personal questions we can get to. What's your favorite color?
Well, purple. It's the top, and then followed by a green.
See,
and then a pink and a yellow.
Mine's flipped.
I'd
mine's
like a nice
green,
yellow.
then purple.
Really? For a green over purple?
Like a forest green, not a bright neon. green.
I like all greens, but with purple, I like a plum purple. You know, not that the YouTube people could see it because it's crazy. But I like a plum purple mixed with like a hunter green. I like those two together. A foresty green. So, what's your favorite color? Why do I only have to answer?
I just
You
answered.
just did. That's right. I am sorry. My bad, everyone. I don't know what happened to me
What's
there.
your favorite?
I'm a natural blonde. Apologies.
What's your favorite pizza?
Ooh, good question.
Cheese.
Is that your favorite?
Yes.
Because what's weird is it's almost my favorite, except I discovered this taco pizza.
I have to say, if you say pineapple,
No,
I
I discovered a taco pizza at Domino's, and it's delicious. Taco pizza. Final answer.
Oh, what's your favorite fast food restaurant? Taco Bell. Mine's Taco Bell.
Okay, my favorite fast food restaurant would have to be probably Panda Express. I really enjoy.
I do like Panda.
Or Arby's. I really like a good like Arby's turkey sliders. Don't mock me because I go to Arby's for turkey sliders. Yes, I do. They're delicious.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
what's your husband's name?
Daniel.
I know that, but that was for y'all, Cody.
Okay, all right.
Honestly, I think that's going to be all for
today.
I
think we've covered just about everything we wanted to cover. Again, if y'all have any questions or anything like that, feel free to message us. If it takes us a minute to get back to messages, just understand that we do get quite a lot of them on the Gals and Ghosts page, and it's difficult to sift through ones that are... That's not me this time. That's her.
My bad.
What was I saying? I left my mind.
It takes us a little bit to cycle through messages on Facebook.
Right, because we get some of personal nature, and we really only answer the ones that are work related. And it's not that we don't want to personally interact. It's just that, you know, it's a business page. You know, we're not there for that, you know. We do appreciate every message we get, and we appreciate every follower, every single one of you. We absolutely love that you watch everything and that you follow us. But if we don't quite have the time to get back to every message, it's just because we get quite a few of them, and it's just difficult to sift through the ones that are asking about merchandise and asking here, which is again why we're trying to develop.
Or giving us pointers to go. We have gotten a lot of
we
like
tips.
To see you do this.
Right,
this
right. We do get a bulk of things, and we try to respond to every one. But if it takes us a while to get back to you, just understand it's not personal. It's just hard to. We're sifting through the ones that are, you know,
a little too
inappropriate.
Yeah,
that's the word I guess I'm looking for. We have to sift through the ones that are inappropriate
to get keywords. But we are coming out with a website, and we have a website.
But we're working on getting together an order website so y'all can actually purchase merch on there, as well as linking it to our YouTube videos.
And then there's again, you still want to show us more support, our Patreon.
Yes. Our Patreon, we will begin, we're actually posting stuff to that very shortly. If anybody does decide to jump on our Patreon and give us some monetary support, we greatly appreciate it. Every dollar does help to get us to more equipment, more locations, and a funding for travel expenses as well.
So thank you for joining us. This has been Gals and Ghosts' very first live stream. Again, we will be doing this once a month. You have questions, comments. We will talk about other episodes we've done, possibly future episodes. And
we'll cover all of your questions next time as well.
And you'll get to know us a little better.
Yes, sorry if we are a little tad bit goofy, or if we swear at all.
Or we get off topic.
Or we get off topic. We're actually really good friends, so it's easy to do for us.
Yeah, like honestly, we've been filming for almost an hour and a half, and I'm like, it's been an hour and a half.
Right? Like, who knew?
Thanks, everybody.
All right, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining us. End stream. Wait, yes, end.